My name is Sylvester Kalonge. I'm the Country Director for International Development Enterprises in Zambia. IDE is a not-for-profit organization which has proven itself to be a leader in market-based approaches to development. This has happened over 38 years, helping the poor navigate out of poverty. We work with farmers because we believe that farming is a business and that farming could be used as a vehicle out of poverty. Here in Zambia, for example, 80% of the people living in rural areas depend on agriculture for their livelihoods. We see that 54% of those live below the poverty line. The situation for most families is that you have this woman who probably takes care of the children and grandchildren. She sells tomatoes at the market. If she sells part of that tomato, then she'll buy food for that day and go and feed the children. And tomorrow she comes back. So it's basically hand to mouth. So if that person is not allowed to sit at the market, it means that they don't have food for that day. It's not that it won't happen tomorrow, it won't happen today, they won't have food to eat today. COVID-19 has come at a time in Zambia agriculture season when farmers are about to harvest. Traditional off-takers of products that farmers grow may not travel to those rural areas to purchase the commodities. This will lead to distressed sales of the commodities by farmers, and distressed sales means that farmers are not recovering the profitability of the crop. And this will lead to them failing to afford to purchase inputs for the following season, which means that it will actually be worse in subsequent years because farmers will not be able to invest in agriculture. So basically the crop is the bank. So if it doesn't bring profitable yields, it means that you become worse. You become poorer than you invested. As IDE Zambia, we already have a structure in the field, what we call the farm business advisor model. The one thing we are doing is that in areas where we know the FBAs have smartphones, we are conducting some of that training virtually. So we are training post-harvest, we're training in aggregation, but we're also facilitating through the post-harvest training the access to post-harvest equipment. In March, they were supposed to conduct field days to show how to harvest to avoid post-harvest losses. It means that they meant to bring a lot of farmers to their fields, to the demo sites, and show them. Now they can't do that. So it becomes a challenge because farmers, especially older farmers, semi-literate farmers, learn by seeing and by doing. So the FBA is having a challenge to just tell people, visit their households and say, well, I'm about to harvest, don't do this and this. Farmers would rather say, can I come and see it in your field? And he has to control the crowd. So that is also a challenge from the FBA's perspective. Now, if farmers are limiting their movement, it means that they are not coming to the site more regularly. It means that the aggregation will take time. It means that the market won't take, hold quickly. It means that they won't make a lot of profit. This is the problem for larger community because if the farmers, first and foremost, if the farmers lose crop to post-harvest losses, the marketable surplus reduces. So the industries that process, the people that live in towns, as well as the farmers themselves will be affected because of this. If we succeed in enabling the off-takers to travel to the rural areas to collect and pay, that would be perfect because we are trying as much as possible to just keep that communication alive. So the biggest fear is that if this doesn't happen, or if somebody breaks that chain, then all those problems I've talked about will actually happen and farming won't be a business this year.